Hey guys, I thought it might be helpful to show you kind of where to go with these sketches next. Some of you already worked in digital format, but for those of you who have sketches, this is something I usually do in Illustrator with logo sketches and things like that, but you can also use them for layout. So I've got my 8.5 by 11 page, and I'm going to place, this is a student sketch, and I'm just going to place it right here. So this happens to be laid out mostly on its side, so I'm going to show you how you would approach that. But if this was your poster, the first thing you want to do is kind of set the margins around the edge. So you can see my margins are this red line. That's kind of the area where you put all the type. So I'm going to go to Layout, Margins and Columns, and I'm going to set that maybe just a little bit wider, like that. Now I'm going to take my sketch and I'm going to size this by going to the image inside the box, and I want to size this so it sits right on that margin. Now if your sketches are really loose, you might not be able to work this out, but it kind of helps to put them on the page where they're supposed to go. So like that. Now I would choose this image, and I would go to opacity on the properties panel and take it down. Maybe like that, about 44%. And then on the layer, I would lock it. So now you have this underneath, and you can make a new layer. You can call this the layout, or type. You can divide it out if you want. And then you just start kind of going by your drawing and laying things in. Now once you're done, and you've put the type on, you can take the sketch off. And that's when you start adjusting things to visually how they work. But there is something about sketching that kind of gives you a really good base to start with that you don't want to ignore. So if this was a poster like this, that the type runs up the side, which I saw quite a few of you have those, so I just wanted to show you how I would do that. That one I would put on its side and build it that way, and then angle it out. So I'm not going to put any margins or anything like that. I'm just making the type. So as you, I would put in one type box as you. Select that. Shortcut to making it big really quick is Shift Command, or on a PC Shift Control. So I'd kind of get over here in the ballpark. There we go, something like that. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to find a typeface that looks like this one, which is a really bold, a little bit condensed. So you can use these filters, and I've got it on sans serif, heavyweight, a little bit condensed. And these are all the options. Now you can find way more than this if you go to Adobe Fonts, but if you wanted to work within your program, you could do this one, which isn't quite black enough. Actually, some of these, when they have a little tab next to them, might have something like, here's extra bold. So that would work. Adriana condensed extra bold. So then I'm going to, now remember, you don't want to be changing the scale of this type. This has to be as it is. You can only make it larger. So another shortcut that might be helpful is when you're trying to size something really large and you want to grab the text box that the type is in and the type itself, you can hold Shift and then Command in Mac and Shift Control on a PC, and then you grab the corner, and that will move everything. So I need to kind of get this in the ballpark, and I want to line this up kind of maybe closer. Same left, maybe a little bit bigger. Okay, so you get the idea. So then what I would do is, once I've built all of this type down here, all of this type that reads in this direction, then I would go and turn it on its side. It's much easier to see type and work with it. And I can see in between this as and you, there's a lot of extra space. So remember, we can deal with that by going here to kerning. And in fact, this type, some of you are going to have big type, And you'll want to go over here to the V/A with the arrow. That is kerning between type letters. On this one, you can track the whole thing by just going to a negative number on the VA with a line under it. That means the whole word will track. Okay? So, same thing if you're putting your type on an angle. First build it straight and then put it on an angle. Because it is very difficult working this way as far as getting things lined up and getting the spacing right. Okay? So, I hope that's helpful.